Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Jibba Jabba with Blavasi. Yep, I am starting this little segment to just give myself a space to just talk and kind of get a few things off my chest that I just feel like talking about that may or may not be related to the current events going on in the world, or may just be something that I'm, thinking about at the moment. I am not fully sure where this is going to go, but I'm going to make it go somewhere. Now let me just get this going up here. But yeah, basically, if you already saw the genie's little talk that he had with Mr. Nice Guy, where he basically was talking about, like his views and stuff about like religion, I guess, and like his idea of how, I guess, things should be going on in the world and life, and how everybody needs to be more connected and together with everybody. I guess mine is going to be a little less, religion based, or it's going to be a little less spiritual stuff. I'm probably going to do more of a like thinking and thought type of a stream. That's what this is going to be. Now I do plan on having it where he and I will be doing one together. Probably at some point we'll get it where we're both, on the stream together. But for the time being, we are doing just separate ones at different times throughout the week. I know he's going to have another one sometime this week, so check that out if you have the time. But basically, for this, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is just go off on, like, I guess, mini rants, or maybe I'll have some hot takes that I want to go off on in this. So, like, for instance, I'll say, for today is my thing is, why do people still trust the media? Like, I don't understand why, after being lied to for so long and just having evidence pushed in their face, constantly showing you, okay, you're wrong again. Now, I understand there are lots of people out there who have come, to realize, okay, they're lying to me, I can't trust them. But the people who just still cling on to whatever they're told, even though they've been proven wrong multiple times, I just don't understand, like, what is going on in their head. Now, I do have, I'll say, some family members that fall into this category. I guess I'm not going to really say who they are, but yeah, it kind of baffles me that you can tell somebody something, it comes true, and you show them that it came true, and then they still are like, nah, I'm not going to listen. I don't want to believe what you're saying, and I'm not going to. But then they tell you how stupid you are whenever you say something, and then it's like, are we going to go through this again? Like, how long are we going to keep doing the same dance every single time? But yeah, it's really baffling. Now, another thing that I guess a more current situation is the whole, even though I don't really feel like, I'm not really going to go into it deep, but the whole Ukraine stuff, that, and then the fact that now clearly, I'll say one of their goals with this whole ordeal is that they are going to be trying to say that all of our issues are because of the war, even though most of the issues that are happening were already happening a year ago. I mean, I'm just saying, why now is it that it's cause of the war, or because of the war? Like, and why do people believe that? Like, what is going on in your head that makes you believe that the stuff that's been going on for like a year or longer is because of a war, so-called war that is just started. Like, I don't I don't really see their thought process, if there is any, because there could just be no thought process. But I guess if I really think about it, they probably just surrendered. They surrendered over their ability to think. They just were like, you know what? I have just totally given myself away to whatever they tell me. I do not feel like thinking. I don't want to think. And therefore, I'm just going to allow them to fill my head with whatever nonsense that they want to fill it with. So they go ahead and they allow the media, the corrupt politicians, the, internet, not really the internet in the way of research or anything, but just the internet, to tell them what to think, what to feel, and how they should react to whatever situation. And, doing anything outside of just following whatever you're told is considered, I don't know, conspiracy theorist territory, or you're a Trump supporter, which, for most people who voted for him, being called a Trump supporter isn't really like a negative, negative connotation, because, clearly if you voted for Trump and you didn't vote for this guy, you know that you were clearly right. Clearly you were in the right, because clearly everything that I already knew was going to happen is happening. But of course, if you didn't and you're still on this train, if you're still on this bandwagon saying Trump is an evil racist and he's going to destroy everything, clearly you're not paying attention, or you've just totally surrendered your ability to think to whoever is filling your head with just absurd nonsense. I guess it's the way that you want to live. And, I guess for the time being, at least, America is still somewhat of a free country. So you have the right to do that. But do that and keep it to yourself, or don't try to tell me to do something that I'm not wanting to do because you're stupid. That's your right to be stupid. I don't want to be stupid, so I'm not going to follow along with you. But hey, you keep doing that. I'll just let you do that. I'm still gonna try to help you, and maybe you'll eventually figure it out. But I'm feeling as if it's possible that the people that still are on that bandwagon are just like, they don't want to think, they don't want to really do anything really that is going to require them to do something outside of what they are already doing, something that's going to require them to do any amount of extra thinking or extra work that's going to put them into a position where they have to now be like, maybe I was wrong this entire time. Maybe I shouldn't have done that thing, insert whatever thing it is, because it doesn't have to only be dealing with, voting for someone. It could be anything. Maybe that thing that I did was wrong, and I don't want to admit that. I don't want to admit that this other person was right. So I'm just going to keep doing this same thing until eventually I can say that I'm right. Even though more than likely that's never going to happen, because once you kind of snowball into this you're constantly wrong thing, if you get one thing right, nobody's going to really care. They're just going to look at you like you're crazy because, But yeah, I guess that's how, what's up, man? That's how most folks are, or not most, but a good small chunk of people are today. Another thing that I guess was on my mind is that with, of course, the whole Ukraine thing, why is it that people are perfectly fine and okay with going and, signing up to go to Ukraine? I just read something earlier that was saying that about 3,000. I think I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please, let me know. But I think it was like 3,000 Americans decided to go to Ukraine and fight in Ukraine, which makes like no sense at all whatsoever to me. I mean, I can kind of guess the kind of people that went over there, but it's like, bro, like, why? What? Like, you are literally inserting yourself into something that has nothing to do with you personally, but you're only going over there because you've been brainwashed so heavily that you think that going over there is going to make you some kind of hero, some war hero or something. I don't know exactly what you're thinking because, I mean, it doesn't make any kind of sense to just go over to another country and fight in a war that is happening between that country and their neighbor. I mean, what process of thought did you have? Like, I mean, do you not understand that you could potentially die and then you're not coming back to America? And more than likely, if you die over there, nobody in this country is going to even care. And if somebody tries to say, oh, this brave soldier went to Ukraine and fought for Ukraine against Russia, as an American, the Americans are going to look at you and be like, you dumbass. Because that's what I'm going to do, at least. I'm going to be like, you stupid. I don't care. You went over there. If you wanted to fight for a country, you should have stayed here and fought for this one. But of course, those same people that go over there and fight for Ukraine are probably not going to be the same people that would want to fight for this country because they think this country is so terrible. More than likely. My guess. Yeah, and I also probably am going to guess, because once again, I'm not Ukrainian, never been to Ukraine. As a matter of fact, never even left the U.S. But I'm going to think that people coming over there and going to their country to fight in their war probably not going to be looked at in the best way. Just saying. They might see you as some crazy idiot who flew across the ocean to go and fight in their war that they themselves don't even want to be in. So they're going to probably look at you like an idiot. But, it's your decision to do that, I guess. I don't know the rules and laws over there in Ukraine, but I'm pretty sure you don't have the same rights as you would if you were in America. But hey, once again, you decided to go over there. That was your choice, your decision. So you're either going to learn from that decision or you're going to suffer the consequences. And if there are people that are, your loved ones and friends and family that are potentially going to miss you, well, I guess you kind of gave them a big old middle finger by going all the way over to Ukraine to fight in a war that had nothing to do with us. But, yeah, I already, understand that this whole thing is just another distraction that is more than likely going to be used to, take pressure off of the current Joe administration. And, they're already doing it with the whole saying that gas prices and all of our goods are raised. The prices are raised because of the war, even though the prices were raising well before the war. So clearly that must be their goal. All of the stuff that Joe has destroyed is now gonna be blamed on. It's the war. It's the war, everybody. Blame the war. Russia's fault. It's Russia's fault. And then we're gonna tie it up into Trump did it. And we were at war with Russia because Trump did a thing way back when he wasn't at war, when we weren't at war with Russia, and Trump's fault. So it's just another thing that they're going to try to use to blame it on Trump, I guess. Trump and Putin and Russia, and let's cancel Russia and say that everything's Russia's fault now, and just say that Russian cats can't go into like pet competition. I mean, that's like if you don't have the ability to think, You would think that this stuff would make sense, but it quite literally does not make any sense at all whatsoever. I'm telling you, like, why would you? Oh, knock at the door 1 second. Shut up, man.
Patty, partner.
What's up, dude? I'm actually doing the thing.
Shit right now.
Yeah. Sweet, dude. Shut up, man. But yes, that's the genie. He just came in, so now this guy's just wild. Diamond, diamond. Yeah, I'm doing the Jibba Jabba, you know, like you're.
Right now?
Yep, diamond.
We're live.
Yep. Come here, man. Chill out, man. Chill out. Yes, folks, the genie just came in, and the diamond went wild. Went wild.
What's up?
But yeah. Yeah, forgot where I was at. What was I talking about? But yeah, basically, I'm just saying, like, all this stuff is just happening because they're trying to look for some other scapegoat to blame for all of Joe Biden's failures. And of course, they can't blame it on Joe Biden, because if they did that, then that would show their weakness, and that would show just how terrible he is as a, well, person. Because, I mean, there's like a snowball effect. If you say one thing is bad, then you're going to have to also acknowledge that this other thing was bad, and then you're going to have to acknowledge this other thing was bad, and then you're going to have to acknowledge just this effect that's going to keep going on and on and on. And after a certain point in time, everybody's going to realize, well, everybody kind of already knows how bad he is, but the people who haven't already realized it are going to realize that, oh man, uh-oh, what happened? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Camera issues? Let's see.
Camera or the feed?
No, I think it's, oh, there it is. There it is. I think it's the camera. But, yeah, it's good now. Yeah! I froze there for a second. But yeah, as I said, okay, come here, man. Come here. Sit.
They totally made Trump scapegoat.
But yeah, they're totally not trying to blame Biden for anything, because if they do, then that makes everything that he did come out into the light. So everybody who doesn't already see that, they're going to be forced to see it then. And if they are forced to see it, well, I mean, the Democrats kind of already lost their ability to, like, lie to the masses. I mean, they can still lie, but people have already been like, okay, I don't trust you people. And, I mean, why should you? I mean, I voted for, Obama the first time. Then I realized just how stupid I was for doing that. And then I did not vote for him the second time. I didn't actually vote for anybody the second time. And I didn't vote for Hillary or Trump because I didn't really know who Trump was. And I gave him his 4 years and then looked into it myself because, of course, I understood that the media lies. And I was like, oh, okay. He did a good job. Let me vote for him. And then, of course, for everybody who knows what happened in the 2020 election, that it was the most secure and, fairest election of all time, then you know that. And now we are here where we're at because we already knew what was going to happen. And, of course, people who refuse to acknowledge the truth, who refuse to open their eyes, are still out here saying just whatever the media tells them, because first it was COVID, now it's Ukraine. I'm guessing the next thing's probably going to be climate change. I mean, it's already been climate change, but they're probably going to go super hardcore into that pretty soon. Let's say, how long will this war go on? I don't know. How long will it go on for? Let me take a guess. A year. Let's say a year. And then after that year, it'll be like, oh, well, apparently Ukraine has been taken over by Russia, and Putin has put in his new person, and what? Now they're going to say that's some kind of evil thing and that we should all go after Russia. I don't know, man. Anything can happen at this point because, like, just lies. I mean, I don't think everything that started in 2020 with the whole virus, it's going to be just a constant domino effect of just more and more shit. It's just going to keep going on and on. I would say at least until 2030. It's going to be at least until 2030. I mean, even if in America we get all the correct politicians, if we get an actual president that we all voted for legitimately, that actually cares about the country, and let's say, all of that good stuff happens, there's still those people at the top that are, the very top. I mean, above whoever is the leader of each country. There's still going to be those people. We have to deal with those people in order to, for us to, how do you say, continue on with our lives. Because until that threat has been squashed, it's just going to be a forever battle. We're going to forever keep dealing with this. It's never going to end until whatever this entity above us is done or is no longer a threat somehow. I mean, there's only one way that this threat will no longer be a threat, and it's not just going to stop being a threat one day and decide to be like, oh, I'm a good person now. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So once that threat is eliminated, then we'll probably be able to go back to normal life. But until then, we're just going to be sitting here. We're going to have people believing whatever they're told by a bunch of corrupt people. We're going to have people lying constantly. We're going to have people going against one another for either whatever, you know what I'm saying? And one of my biggest things, right, is that people like to say, the left, they're extremists, they're bad, terrible people. And then, of course, the left is like, oh, the far right is extreme, terrible people. But really, they're two extremes that, in my opinion, both can be wrong at times. Of course, the left is pretty much wrong all the time. But for the right, they can also be wrong, because one thing that kind of irks me with the right side, you know what I'm saying? I guess I'm more of a middle of the ground type person, centrist. I don't know. I don't really label myself with these things. But one thing that irritates me with the right is this phrase that they like to use where they're like, I'm not willing to die on this hill. And I'm like, okay, when exactly are you willing to die on that hill? Because, I mean, at first you were like, oh, I'm just going to wear the mask. I'm not ready to die on this hill. And then you just wore the mask. And then it was like, okay, clearly that was just a stepping stone for the shot. And then, people are like, oh, I don't want to get the shot. Were you not willing to die on the hill? Did you get the shot? I mean, I'm pretty sure there are lots of people on the right who actually got the shot because they weren't willing to die on the hill. Now, I died on that hill the very first stop. The mask. I died on that hill, and I was like, nope, not doing it. And everything after that, I was like, nope. I just, no. I mean, you've got to be willing to die on some hill. I mean, geez, their whole point is that they just want you to do it. So you're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. Those are the only two options. So if you're not willing to die on the hill, then you're doing it. And that's them getting what they want. If you just don't do it, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Instead of being a coward, because that's what that is, you're just being a coward. You just are too afraid to die on that hill. So instead of you saying, no, I'm not going to do it, because if I don't do it, then I'm going to get in trouble, or they won't let me do this thing that I want to do because it's more comfortable for me to do whatever. Oh, well, I guess you're doing it. That's all they wanted. And now you're part of the people who believe it. You might as well be the same thing. I mean, it's the same concept. I'm not going to wear the mask because, I don't want to wear it and I'm not going to do it. Or I'm going to wear it because they're telling me to do it, and it's the total truth, and I totally believe them. I'm honest. They're honest people. I mean, of course, why would the news and the government ever lie to me? And then I'm not willing to die on the hill. Same thing. Same thing, because you're doing what they want, and as long as you're doing what they want, they win. I mean, just don't do what they want you to do, and we all win. If that was the thing in the first place, we wouldn't be, well, I don't know. We might not be where we're at now. Potentially, I don't know, but things would be definitely a lot different. That's for definitely for sure. But I mean, hey, once again, this is going to be where I guess I'm just going to come out and I'm just going to going to just talk about stuff, and whatever's on my mind, I'm going to let it out because, there are times where I just want to do that. I'm going to at least do one a week. Jeannie's going to also do one per week. And then maybe on Sunday or Friday, I don't know what day of the week, we're going to do one together where we just talk about something. Maybe we'll have some topics that we'll actually bring, which would probably make this one a bit smoother. So we'll do that. And yeah, thanks for watching me Jibba Jabba for about, however many minutes it is, listening to my Jibba Jabba. And also don't forget to do the usual, like, share, comment, subscribe. Also follow the Oreo Show. That is the Oreo with a Y-O instead of just the O. Oreyo Oreo Show, where me, the Genie, and Spoose, our other friend, we go and talk about a bunch of current events and news topics and some crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and we just have a good old time. It's fun stuff. But yeah, I'm probably gonna set this up to be a bit more watcher friendly, so that it's not just me sitting here talking with this background. Yeah, but yes. Thanks for watching, for everyone who is watching, and I'll see you the next time, because there will be a next time.